Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. James Sharmack here. We are looking at the final villain figure from Spider-Man No Way Home. I just got the Lizard yesterday. Cost about 40 bucks. Got it off Amazon. Just arrived yesterday, like I said. So we're going to do the usual stuff, take a look, compare them to the other figures for scale, and see how it goes. So like the Electro figure we did, it's kind of, a big box. Well, it does look like it's a bigger figure than, usual, but anyway, Spider-Man No Way Home on the bottom there, Legends on the top. Nice picture of the lizard right there. On the back, same picture. A little bit of text if you want to take a look, but everybody knows his story, right? Another picture there, Marvel's lizard, as opposed to DC's lizard, whatever. Spider-Man logo on the top. Back to the front. And there you go. Let's take him out of the box. So right off the bat, you gotta do a little construction. They'll pop the tail on. Should be easy enough. Looks like it's easier than the Godzilla figure. And at least that's what it says. Alright, so we got him out of the package. Looking very cool. Looking screen authentic. Not everyone's a big fan of the design, especially with the head, because it's all human-like, but it is what it is. Still nice detail, nice paint detail on the figure. Like, obviously, that head looks pretty cool. A nice open head, like, surprise! Does remind me a little bit of Godzilla, but, jaw's not articulated, but that would be kind of cool. A nice detail on the claws. Nice paint apps, obviously. You got lizard dong going on. The tail looks pretty cool. Obviously you have to put it in a way where it matches the color, I guess. Nice tall figure. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I dig it a lot. Obviously it does look screen authentic, character authentic. I do like that, the tail's probably going to give him a lot of support for when he's standing up and posing, whatever. So we'll see how that goes. So accessory wise, the figure comes with two different pairs of hands. I switched out the hands it came with these surprise clawing hands, but otherwise it comes with one fist for the right hand and like a grabbing hand for the left, as well as a nice calm reserved head, which we're never going to put on. Come on, because that's more exciting to look at. Still, he shouldn't really come with much, obviously. So, but if probably could have came with that canister if you wanted to do like the Amazing Spider-Man, but it is what it is. So articulation wise, he got a pretty fair amount. So his head head and neck actually go back and forth like that. Move the head like that. That's pretty cool. Turn the head obviously all the way around. Crazy amount of tilting going on. Arm goes up that far, goes back that far, all the way around, obviously. Bicep rotation, double joint, the elbow, wrist rotation back and forth, diaphragm, the ball joint. You can't really move back as far as I would like. So don't force it, because it looks like, if you try going where you want them, if you get like super crouch, it's going to break off. Legs go apart that far, go forward and back about that far. Thigh rotation, double joint the knee, and lizard ankle rotation and back and forth. That's kind of cool. Tail articulation, yep. Go down that far, goes up that far, and rotates all the way around, so that's pretty solid. And like I said, the tail provides a decent amount of support for the figure. So, in the two movies he's in, he does a lot of crawling. I want to see what he looked like when he's in a crawling pose. Looks alright. I think the front part could have looked a little bit better with the leg, but otherwise, not too bad, I guess. Okay guys, so we have your villains right here from No Way Home, all together. Looking very cool. Pretty odd assortment, obviously, but they're all there. Forgive the shaky cam, I had to go handheld to get them all in on the shot, because, obviously they're pretty big. And we have to go handheld again to show the three Spideys against the lizard, and clearly he towers over them, which is pretty cool. Marvel Legends is always good for, you know, in scale figures, but, you know, just wanted to make sure. So, you know, pretty, you know, tall, obviously. I noticed it when I got the box that he's a tall figure, so that's pretty cool. I know, you know, it's not film accurate to the Amazing Spider-Man, but still, it's still the Amazing Spider-Man figure. I wanted to see if you could do a somewhat of a climbing pose on the lizard, if he could support him, and it looks like he can. That's pretty cool. So at the end of the day, pretty solid figure. I like a lot of the articulation that's on him. I wish he was a little bit more, just because he has that, you know, ability to, you know, really crawl really low, but otherwise pretty solid. I like the neck head articulation. That's pretty cool. You know, great figure, great size, nice details. I didn't mention, you know, the scales on him. That's a lot of work. You know, pretty solid. Nice feel to the scales on the figure. Great paint job. I'm not a big fan of how, you know, specifically the tail has to, you know, it does look a little wonky if you're trying to, you know, get him to hold the pose, just because the color, but the tail is the hero of this figure, because it'll help you get some crazy poses going on, and it'll support, because he is very front heavy, so the tail will help you out. For $40, sure. I mean, it's a pretty tall figure compared to everyone else in the line, so yeah, it's worth the price. Yeah, and he's falling down, but I'll put him right back up. But, you know, it's definitely a great addition to the collection, and he's on sale now. Just got him yesterday, like I said, so pretty solid. Anyways, that's it for this review. Thank you guys for watching. Obviously, I have more reviews to come. I'm working on a bunch of McFarlanes right now. I'm waiting for some McFarlanes to come in, but we'll get to that mountain when we get there. Anyways, guys, thank you for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it. I've gotten a few lately, so I want to say welcome to the channel, and hope you guys do like what I'm doing. We'll see how it goes, see what figures are coming in. I don't know. And, okay, he's, like I said, he's very front heavy, so sometimes you can't exactly hold a position, but still, it is what it is. And, you know, I do like the figure. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the review. Thank you for watching the channel. And as always, keep on collecting and happy hunting.